So this album, I'd say, well, each album gets progressively more and more progressive and experimental. What were some goals and stuff you had setting out before you got going on this album?
None really.
Yeah.
We just didn't want to repeat ourselves. We didn't want to do.
I think you clearly didn't do that.
Yeah.
I was
a little different.
That's what I was afraid it was gonna be like Colors Part 2. Not even close.
Yeah, right? We just tried to not have the pressure of Colors when writing. You know, we didn't want to think about that record because I think everybody they're just comparing it to that record for some reason. But for us, we just wanted to, you know, write the best thing that we could possibly write, and that's all we did.
So I reached out to all of our like online fans, you know, for the radio show, and all my friends I know that listen to you guys, and asked everybody, you know, what would you ask them if you could ask them anything? Because I was preparing, and everybody said the same thing. How did they come up with stuff? What is the writing process? Do you guys? Is it all of you together? Is somebody a primary writer? Do y'all have to record your writing sessions so you don't forget the million
We do record when we write. You
Okay.
know, that way we can kind of, when a song's done, we can really sit back and analyze it and kind of go through what we need to change. But I mean, it really depends on the song. You know, we all do write, you know, but it's really different for each song. We just a big collaboration of ideas.
Are you comfortable improvising?
We don't do much of that.
More of a
at all. Yeah.
If it is, it's really bad.
Yeah.
Like a numerical improv or something.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the times we all kind of write on our own, and then we get up and write together. That's normally how.
Okay.
I think we improv a little just on like
A little bit.
melody stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Clean stuff sometimes. Yeah.
How, especially with Colors, how do you know when a song's over and a new start begins? Because I remember seeing
that
like a
we
thing
did.
that where you guys had special shirts for each song on Colors, and I thought, so one shirt? Because
Yeah,
Colors is one song to me.
Yeah,
how
pretty
do you
much.
decide when to drop a track? Is that reflective of the writing process, or?
I think it's just that you can't really explain it. It's just that
Yeah.
natural feeling, like you just know when something's finished.
I always feel like there's like some point during the writing of a song where all of a sudden we have like a vision for how it should go and how it should end, you know, and then we sort of write that.
Do you write each song and then figure out how to transition them together at the beginning and the end? Because you know the way they flow seamlessly.
Yeah.
You kind of
I don't
after you have
For
the
what,
song.
Colors?
Yeah,
Colors,
Colors started
to a
in the-
lesser extent than the new album,
We
but
started in the middle of Colors.
Yeah.
And went to the end, and then kind of yeah. So.
We're gonna play another song from that right now. This one's called Fossil Genera, a few 25 minutes.
I listened to the teaser and it sounded like it was about, I don't know, 15 or 16 songs with all the different, you know, different sounds, but I thought it was going to be really good. I mean, I don't know, it's not Colors 2, which is good, so.
It's kind of very friendly to a person who kind of has like ADD tendencies where things change so much, but it's not changing for the sake of changing. It's, you know, you got a song that's 17 minutes, you've got to keep people's interest, and when you write songs, they're basically like orchestral movements. It's not a song anymore, it's a living art piece, and I love it.
I think that they're introducing more of a different style that most people these days don't really see a lot. I think that it's great because people get accustomed to it and they listen to it, and as time goes on they get more and more, if that makes any sense, they become more and more fans, and they like it a lot more, and I like it a lot.
I mean, it's hardcore, but then it's got a lot of, you know, softer qualities and everything, but it's just extremely well put together, and it has a lot of different genres, I would say, but it's definitely a hardcore genre, but with a lot of other mixes. I actually like it. I mean, they're kind of growing up, so I figure they can't always play just hardcore, you know. Everyone grows up and has to want to do other things, and it sounds awesome. I mean, since they're such good musicians, like, they do it perfectly.
Solid Circus, because one of the first ones, it's so creative and it's easy first time.
It might be the Great Misdirect, but it's kind of a hard thing, they're all so different.
Favorite album? Shit, I don't know.
I mean, the one with the most sentimental value to me is The Silent Circus, but I mean, that album, like, to listen to it now, I know that their newer albums are better quality, like Colors and the newest one. I know that they're better musically, but that album just hit me at the right time in my life where, like, I would just sit with it on my headphones and play drums to it, and it was like an awesome record to like be influenced by.
One thing that always impresses me listening to you guys is I feel like, gosh, these guys will do anything. Like, they won't say no to anything. There's a hoedown in the middle of Ants in the Sky, you know, and then a jazz thing. And is there anything that somebody has come up with that the rest of the band is like, we can't do that? Because I feel like there's nothing you won't do.
I don't know, man. I mean, I think in the end, you're still writing a song regardless, so if something just doesn't work for the song, we won't use it. But as far as, I think as musicians, we have a lot of liberty and freedom as far as, like, we're not scared to try new things, and I think that's just a good feeling, you know, as a writer, to not be afraid to bring something in. But I mean, who's to say? I mean, we've definitely cut lots of parts in our songs,
yeah.
but it's not because it's like, oh, that's too, it just doesn't fit, you know. Like, that's a part either works or doesn't work. And I mean, who knows? I'm sure there's stuff that we would never try, but never say never. You know?
So speaking of fitting, I want to ask you specifically. You sing. There's several times on the new album where there's 3 or 4 minutes with no vocals. Is that hard for you as a singer to step back from? And
Well, I think each record I kind of play a little more keyboards, which
I noticed. Yeah.
So I mean, I normally try to always stay busy because I'm an ADD person anyway. So I always playing it outside something going on.
Is it just me, or is there a horse whinny?
Yeah, there is a horse. There was a big debate about that.
We almost didn't have it on there.
That almost was a part we had.
Who was for and who was against on the horse whinny?
I was against.
I think I was a horse.
I converted them. I
I
made a good argument.
What happened is we had it in there, and I was like, we can't have that. So then he took it out, and then I was like, it sounds weird without it.
Yeah, it does sound right.
It's real subtle, but it's...
Yeah, we made it so it was like definitely like a...
Like rewind, play, play. I'm like, yeah, I think I know. I think that's what I'm hearing. Is there anything you have to do to not lose your voice when you're on tour?
WD-40.
No. just spray WD-40 down my throat. No.
All you kids at home, WD-40 down the throat, your voice on that's throat.
And a lighter.
I don't know, I would just say for, you know, just...
HSW does not officially any of the recommendations made by
Drano. Always use Drano. No, I don't know, just practice, I guess. We've been touring for a long time and just kind of...
How do you keep getting better and better while you're on the road all the time at your instruments? Because I feel like you guys have got to be taking lessons, especially, you know, Dan, every album, step it up, step it up. How are you getting so much better all the time?
I think that's just a natural part of us as being like a progressive band.
Does it just happen from touring that you get better?
No, definitely don't get better from touring.
Are you taking lessons when you go home? Just practice.
I think writing makes us better.
Yeah.
I know I get better.
We just have a natural need to push ourselves.
Yeah, you're always pushing yourself.
Yeah.
You can't play, I mean, me, most of the time I can't play the stuff clean when I learn it, you know. And the more and more you play it, by the time you can play it tight, you got better. You know?
Just all around?
Yeah. And I play guitar pretty much all the time on tour. You have to warm up and then you play.